Hey everybody, it's Vern here on June 30th, 2021. And for the second edition of the Keenan Vision podcast, I'm going to be extracting the analysis and conclusions from my recent review of Salesforce Extension Pack for VS Code. So let's take a listen to that analysis. And this by abridged, I mean I don't have the actual review comments. If you like to see all of my demo and everything, there's a longer video that's linked to below. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy this review of Salesforce Extension Pack for VS Code. It was just 5 years ago that doing Salesforce development was much more painful than it is now. You needed to install Eclipse, it was hard to use, and the tooling sucked. Well, things are a lot better now since we have VS Code and Salesforce Extension Pack to help out. To spread the word about this fantastic development and to chime in with my comments and observations about the product, here is my review of Salesforce Extension Pack for VS Code. Let me start with Sfdx Cli, which is the key component that connects scripting with many crucial metadata and DML functions of Salesforce. Introduced in 2017, Sfdx Cli plus VS Code integration provides a key touchpoint between the open source Devops world and the Salesforce platform. Sfdx Cli is so important to DevOps because it gives engineers a scriptable interface into a Salesforce org, which enables the orchestration of DevOps pipelines. Now, by marrying Sfdx Cli with the most popular interactive developer environment, Salesforce Extension Pack really delivers a powerful and extensible working environment for Salesforce developers. So I'll be getting to a quick demo of how I use the extension pack in just a little bit. But before that, let's go over some of my observations about the product. First, front-end development recently got dramatically better. I did not formally test the front-end stuff in this review, but I have set up a local development server for LWC development. So this works by installing an Sfdx Cli plugin and then running the server in another terminal window. That starts up a local HTTP port while using the local VS Code workspace for source code. So I love this because it changes the time between saving a file and seeing a result on the screen from minutes to seconds. So this is huge. Now, when a developer saves a JavaScript, HTML, or CSS file in their project, the screen is quickly updated. Now on to my complaints. So I've had my share of Sfdx Cli installation problems, and I noted the low rating in the VS Code marketplace because people are having all sorts of installation problems. So I solved this for myself by becoming extremely strict about how I use and installed NPM. I only use Node Version Manager to install Node.js and NPM on Linux implementations only, so that's how I keep it straight. I wonder, why does Salesforce depend on Node.js for such a critical function? The CLI depends on thousands of NPM modules, and who knows when one of those modules will become infected with a cyber attack vector. So my wish is to find a way to preserve the existing Sfdx Cli ecosystem, but to encapsulate the utility into a single binary file. I am not sure this can be done and still preserve the innovative plugins that have already emerged, but distributing a single binary file is the way more modern CLIs operate with languages such as Go. Next complaint is that there are too many version updates. So I constantly see updates. They're coming in all the time. It's at a much more frequent cadence than other software systems that I use. So please do everybody a favor and slow down on the version releases. Next, the Apex language server blocks many would-be Salesforce Extension Pack users because it requires Java to be installed on the local workstation, which is a pain on Windows especially. So, and also since Apex is piggy and it makes extensive use of Java, it eats up memory and CPU processes like crazy. So this makes Salesforce Extension Pack run slowly on all but the newest desktop computers. So I finally got the performance I needed when I got Java off of my workstation and used it on a local server. So this entailed using VS Code Remote in another server in my current segment. So see an earlier how-to article I wrote on how I solved the VS Code performance problem. Finally, I have had my share of support horror stories, and I had one with Salesforce Extension Pack too. For me, the most frustrating thing is handling inbound callbacks at support's convenience. I eventually got the problem fixed after spending unproductive time with support, which I'm sure is something you can relate to. In general, if a new Salesforce developer is not part of a larger user group or big company or other self-help resource, hitting roadblocks and error messages when working with Salesforce Extension Pack can be very frustrating. I wish support was better accessible to the coder trying to work with Salesforce languages. I have given Salesforce Extension Pack a Keenan Vision scorecard rating of 3.7. I gave low marks for ease of use due to installation issues and support because, well, you know. And I gave Salesforce Extension Pack a 5 on whether I would recommend the product to a friend. So on to my conclusions. Salesforce Extension Pack delivers on the promise to augment VS Code, which makes it a powerful and productive platform for day-to-day Salesforce developer activities. With Salesforce Extension Pack installed, using VS Code and Salesforce Sfdx Cli improves a developer's productivity, especially when compared to using the Eclipse or developer console. There is still plenty to improve upon, such as the awkward installation procedure and other glitches that can turn into showstoppers. I wish that Apex language server were more lightweight and the Java was not needed as well. And also, please slow down on the versions. So despite any ratings or other reservations, I wholeheartedly recommend that all new and existing Salesforce developers immediately adopt the best free Salesforce development system available. Hopefully by seeing how using these tools improves the daily workflow of a Salesforce developer, you and your team will be inspired to make the leap today. So thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.